One thing that you constantly see written about is people saying not all handicaps or problems are visible. And then they explain this to people and say you could have a mental problem, you could have a cognitive disability, you could be traumatized, you could just have a really bad day. And this will affect how you act and how you can handle things. It can affect your physical properties as well. You could have a problem with your balance. You could have a problem with all kinds of functions. Meaning, when you are in public with people, you will struggle with things. Things that will, in effect, make you handicapped, maybe. Or it can actually just explain your behavior. I saw this discussion in a forum on Facebook, a group, where a woman wrote that she had been walking around with her dog quietly when suddenly another woman had approached her and started shouting at her, saying, "You're fat, you're ugly," and then moved on. This had deeply disturbed the woman with a dog, which I can understand. She had become not only scared, but offended as well. As time had passed, she had become offended. And she wrote about this on this forum, where everybody, without any exception, just literally wrote that, "Oh, what a nasty person. Someone should arrest her, and what a horrible person to say something like that to you. You're pretty, you're everything like that." Not a single person wrote the most obvious answer to what had happened. That this woman who had shouted at her was probably not mentally okay. She was probably handicapped or had a psychosis or something like that. That is the most logical answer for this. But everybody jumped on the wagon of tars and feathers instantly. So in reality, when people talk about handicaps and that they understand you can have a mental handicap, they don't get it. They really don't get it. Because other things take precedence. Your natural reaction to defend or get annoyed takes precedence. It's a simple thing, but so many people struggle with it. I've also seen this on a bus once. It was a quite full bus, not many seats, and this elderly person stepped on board the bus, and then another passenger, a middle-aged person like myself, said to a young person sitting on a seat that, "Hey, get up. Don't you see there's an elderly person stepping on board?" And this scared girl did her best to get up and stand. But I've noticed this before. I noticed her stepping on board this bus, this young girl, because she stepped on board after me. This girl struggled with her balance, and I could also see this girl was not okay. But it wasn't very visible. She wasn't a frail elderly person. She didn't have a cane. She didn't in any way just had a sign on herself saying, "Hey, I'm really not okay." So this other person just jumped on her like she was a bad and ignorant teenager, not helping her. This really pissed me off. So I comment on this thing, said to the other middle-aged person, "Shut up, let the girl be, and hey, take my seat," I said to this old person, who in this instance just looked very troubled for all the commotion she had caused. But I got up because, hey, my next bus stop was just a couple of 100 meters away. and the young person could remain seating. And I said to this middle-aged person, hey, not all handicaps are visible. And she just replied, well, she's a young person, she's okay. Well, that's not what handicaps are about, you idiot. Some people have other struggles you can't see. Educate yourself. I use that annoying phrase, educate yourself. I didn't think I reached out very clearly. Had I been, a lot more focused, I could have used better arguments and, but in the heat of the moment, and I was actually getting off the bus, I couldn't really find anything, great to say. Anyways, not all handicaps are visible. Not all struggles are visible. And some of these are a lot more detrimental to you than just being old is. There's a lot of old people who are physically fit, who can stand on a bus, actually. And especially when the seats occupied are, by someone like me. I'm fit, I can stand, I might not enjoy it, but I can. So could this nasty woman. She could have stood up, hey, take my seat. No, instead she addressed this other young girl just sitting there minding her own business. God damn it, I dislike those kind of people. I know she thinks she did the right thing morally, educating the teens of the society in things, and in some cases, yeah, we should be addressing other people and teach them things. But in this instance, the teaching should have been me, maybe more towards this other peer of mine, because that was the person in need of teaching, nobody else. I don't think we will ever really find a solution to this problem, because when you say and you talk to people about handicaps and you address them about this topic, you forget that handicap and empathy to this is triggered by empathy. It is triggered by us seeing something we could identify as weakness, as something we, directly see as something we pity. That's what it is. And all psychological, psychiatrical, and in general, just mental things could also be not even a mental handicap. It could be actually a neurological handicap, not visible at all, and not at all connected to psychology or psychiatry, to cognitive things. You could have a problem with your balance. That is not an exclusive thing of age. There are younger people who struggle with this as well. And before you just assume that someone sitting down is lazy, know what you're talking about. If you see this person just jump aboard, just, casually and looking cool and everything, and just, then I guess you can make that assumption that this person could get up. Or you can live by leading, by showing, by getting up. You can do this in this annoying way, demonstrating, hey, look at me, I'm getting up for this old person and I'm way older than you. You can do that. I mean, it's still annoying if the person sitting there is, handicapped in some way you don't see. But at least it's not you attacking someone and destroying their day. Maybe. I mean, what if this young girl sat there, was very frail, mentally very frail? What if this really destroyed her day? Made her fall back into depression, feeling worthless and so on. Things like that are in the line of consequences that people like her, the mobs who instantly pick up tars and feather, never ever contemplate. Because the sad truth is, most people do not acknowledge or see the possibility of hidden handicaps. They simply don't. This has been a commentary on things from the Borderline Man. Have a nice one, folks.